I studied music, a long time ago. I think it was probably when I was 10, about something like 10. I grabbed a guitar and later on the piano. So I was really into music when I was a teenager, and I played in lots of bands, like rock bands mostly. During my university time, I was studying something completely different than music. Music was really a passion. I was studying engineering, but I continue to play in lots of bands and also like jazz bands because I was learning the trumpet. And later on, when I was in the US for an exchange student program, I met an Australian director, and we reconnected because we were listening to the same music. So we went to some gigs together, and part of her time abroad was one of the things she had to deliver was a short film, and she asked me to do music, and it's something I never thought about before, and I really loved the experience. And when I came back to Europe, I arrived in Berlin for work, and then I studied still on the side to try to work on more short films. And then I moved to Brussels, and that's where I started to work on bigger projects. First series I was working on, so it's a Belgian series called La Trêve, which is the English title is The Break. The idea was to have something really Belgian, so it was a crime series, and they wanted to do something like they could be really proud of, and not try to imitate other American series or something. So the other series that I worked on for Netflix was Women of the Night, and it's actually a collaboration with another composer, a friend of mine, Hannes De Maeyer. When I got involved, he had already written some themes, and we really quickly started to try just how we could collaborate on this, what I would bring and what he would continue doing, and we discovered in fact he's more of a pianist and I'm more of a guitarist, and with the directors and producers, they were quite interested in having those two colors, and so many of the themes he wrote I could also play them with the guitar, and then I wrote some themes that he played on the piano. So it was one way of working. And then, because he already had worked on some orchestral themes, I brought some electronic stuff, and then peu à peu we just found the way how we complete each other on the project.
Mon père trouvait ça crissement grave, qu'est-ce qu'on est en train de faire là. Pas comme vous, monsieur le curé, mais la soutane, les prières, le petit Jésus, il trouvait que c'était de l'estimement.
Last year, I worked actually on two different movies. The first one is a fictional movie from Canada called Réservoir, and it was released in December in the cinema. The music they had in mind something very rough, something very intimate and very simple in a way, and so it's about two brothers that lost their father, so they reconnect during the funeral because they have not seen each other since a very long time, and they decide to spread the ashes on a river where they had a summer house. The other one was a feature documentary. It's a spy World War II story about, so it's called the Red Orchestra, and it's actually the biggest organization anti-Nazis during World War II, and a bit further Germany, when they were still divided, made two different movies about this. West Germany did a TV movie about the Red Orchestra, and East Germany did a series. And the idea of the documentary that was made last year was to conflict those two versions of the East Germany and the West Germany, and also conflict them to what we know now, because the movies were done a long time ago, and then now we have more information about what really happened and all the different characters. And so it was a very emotional story and very sensitive subject, but at the same time, being a documentary was also like quite challenging to me, because I've worked on documentary before, but like more TV documentaries, and I'd never realized that they can be really treated like as fictional movie, because also maybe because in this documentary movie you have like lots of fictional pictures, because they actually show what East Germany and West Germany have done, the movies and series they've done about the subject. The director was really open to have, because the documentary has a fresh view on the story and a very modern angle, that the music also reflect this by having a mix of old textures because of the old pictures, and also like modern because of the idea that everything is from this point of view of today. And so we quickly decided to go for quite so an orchestral score, but with lots of electronics on top, and a mix of very modern electronic that you can make with computers, and also like synth from the 80s, like the Moog synthesizers, and also in the orchestral a mix of very modern orchestral music, and also some hints of for example different periods. So for example the 60s, where I use a cymbalum, which is this string instrument from the Eastern Europe, that also give you the idea of this 60s thriller film noir, and also it's really the instrument is really linked to the Eastern Europe and the Balkans and the Russian, which were not that represented in the movies. So it was also like complementing very good the pictures. I like to start drafting some sketches on the script. I like to read the scripts and be inspired just by the words and by the story itself, because then quickly when you have the pictures are so strong that they really give you one direction, but with the words, with the story, you have many directions, and it's I find it more creative to start really the very beginning, the roots of the project.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Eloi Ragot, je suis un compositeur de musique de film, et je viens de travailler avec Hannes De Maeyer sur une série qui s'appelle Women of the Night, Mujer de la Noche, qu'on trouve sur Netflix. Et voilà, bonjour à tous, musiKamía.